Okay, I think we're live. We are here all alive. Thank goodness. Happy Monday, the last Monday of July. We have it here with us. It's a pleasure to be with my wonderful partner, Olga Campora, all the way from Maryland. And here is I, Fari, from California. And we want to welcome you all to this fabulous space we're creating for us, for you, to welcome you, to help you, to guide you, to love you and support you. And we can all be, the whole purpose of this is to create a loving, powerful space for you guys, so we can come, the two of us, share our wisdom, our love, and our support in many ways, but the most specific way is through yoga that Olga and I have been very big and huge on. We're both certified, we're both teachers, we're both seekers. And the more we learn, the more we realize how much more we need to learn. And the world of learning is endless. And last time we came and we talked about the, as they call it, chakra, but it is the energy sources that we have in the spine. And we're going to go on from we started from a 1, and we're going all the way up to chakra 7, and then we want to talk about every bit of that. And there is my lovely Olga that is going to talk and lead us into the warm-up of first, and then we'll take it on from this. Go ahead, lovely Olga. Now, thank you for being here, sweetheart.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's such a pleasure for all of you who are live with us, and especially those of you who are going to watch this as a recording. We are so thrilled to have you here. Today, we are going to start with a little bit of opening the torso and our upper body, just to get in touch with our breath. And we will be then doing just very short, about 8 breaths, only through the left nostril, that helps to balance, you know, the second just kind of level of the energy that we are going to talk about, the sacral, you know, energy. Okay, so I would like you to sit either on a chair, or if you are fine, you can sit all the way, cross ankles. And what I would like you to do is just bring your hands on your knees, relax your shoulders, chin is parallel to the floor. Beautiful. And just take a nice, easy breath in and out through the nostrils. One more inhale through the nostrils. And exhale through the mouth. Now interlace your fingers, okay? And we'll start all the way at the level of your navel. Relax the shoulders away from your ears. Elbows nicely just kind of, you know, spreading to the sides. Nicely exhale, and then inhale, lift just nicely your arms up to your heart center. Exhale, press the palms of your hands in front of you, round your back into the cat. Inhale through the nostrils all the way, lift through your arms. Exhale, release your arms all the way down. Interlace your fingers back behind you. Inhale, lift through the chest, arch through the back into the cow pose. And then exhale, bring your hands in front of you again, in front of your navel. We'll do it 2 more times. So inhale, exhale, press your hands around the back. Inhale, lift through the chest, extend through the elbows. Exhale, release your arms to the sides. Inhale, interlace your fingers, lift through the chest, lengthen through the crown of your head. And then exhale, release your hands again in front of you. One more time. Beautiful. And then take the second and third finger of your right hand and close your right nostril. And we just simply breathe in and out, easy breath in through the left nostril, and easy breath through the left nostril. So only the left nostril, very easy breath, count of 3 up and count of 3 down. So slowly breathe in and out. In and out. So keep continuing through the left nostril, another 6 breaths, just like that, through the left nostril only. Easy does it. Two more. Beautiful. And after next exhalation, just relax your hands. Keep your eyes closed just for a second. Just notice. Beautiful. And maybe you feel a little bit just kind of more calm, a little bit more relaxed. And then gently open your eyes. I will give, back, baton to Fari, just kind of, to recap a little bit, just the last week. Remember, the first, level of energy, pranic energy, or that first chakra, is all connected to really survival. So unless we meet just basic needs, having food, having water, having shelter, having just kind of, clothes, right? Taking care of the basic needs. It's just, if that part of our living is not just kind of taken care of, the energy cannot move anywhere, just kind of in the upper levels, okay? So if you just kind of realize what a blessing, it is where you are, that you have air conditioning probably while you are listening to this, that you are probably sitting on a comfortable, chair, that you have clothes on, you have been fed, you probably have a water bottle next to you. So those basic needs just kind of, are met. And so this is something that's really important to know, that we cannot never ever raise above any other levels unless, the lower levels, or not lower levels, the other levels of our being are not met. And so today we are going to just kind of go to the next level, that it's called a sacral energy, a sacral chakra. And I will just give it to Fari and we'll go back and forth. Thank you so much. Fari.
Sure. Lovely start, sweetheart. That was wonderful. It's good, especially that I just got out of 2.5 hours of ride to get here. So it was lovely to move around and feel a little bit loose and all that great stuff. And the whole idea of chakras, as Olga was saying, is in the world of the West, when you say, sometimes you say chakra, they think, oh, is this voodoo, judo, whereas really is the energy sources in our body. Everything starts from inside of us and it goes to the outside of us. Yeah, right. So the reflection, it comes to the out. So when you talk about the energy in Sanskrit, the energy sources in the spine is called chakras, and we have 7 of it. So today, as Olga was explaining for the first one, which is the root chakra, now we're in a sacral chakra, and a sacral chakra, it's got a beautiful orangey color, that is lovely orange color they give it to. And I've been living off of a suitcase for the last 3 weeks because I was on a vacation. So this was the closest to the orange that I could find to wear. And the lovely color that Olga wears is magnificent. And that's really resembling the color of the sacral chakra. But what is the sacral chakra? That it's based on our sexuality, our sensual, and our creativity, how much you want to be creative, how much you want to be absolutely outside of just being a creative, manifesting and creating what it is that you want to create. And that's the second chakra, and is below the belly button, and it is unbelievably effective if we know how to work our body, which I say, God bless yoga. It doesn't matter who you are in your fitness. It doesn't matter how fit and strong you are. It's 32 years I've had the blessing of being a fitness trainer and being a life coach. Being a black belt, doing all the weights, swimming, weightlifting, so many, Pilates, blah, 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 so much. Nothing, and I mean nothing, compares to yoga. Because even in a strong bodybuilder, when they take them into a yoga class and we say, let's do the yoga, they become in touch with the part of their, and it's all starting from their tailbone all the way up, with a part of themselves that they had never known what that is and how they engage it in their weightlifting, so they become a better bodybuilder or whatever that they are. But being on that sacral chakra, that it's to do with sexuality. And when you talk about, oh, it's to do with sexuality, and they think, oh, but that's not good. And I just want to know why. What's wrong with talking about learning where connects you to the core of your sexuality? And if you think about it, it's actually very spiritual. It's very important part of our lives, that we just think because it's sex, then it has to be bad. Oh no, it's wrong. There's nothing wrong with it. You need your eyes to see. You need your mouth to eat. You need your sacral chakra, which is to do with your sexuality, as well as sexuality and many other things, the creation, the manifestation of our creation, and all of that, the movements on it is magnificent. I am on a chair, I can do those movements. That's why I love the fact that Olga is in her studio and has that, and then we can go through most simple movements. But once you do it, as delicate as it should be practiced, you just find parts of you that you've never felt before. As simple as that, right, my love, Olga?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think that, what you, Fari, are, saying is just, the really the essence of just kind of this center of creation that is within every single soul is something that is just, so not only incredibly beautiful, but also that's what keeps us alive, that sense of creativity that is within us. Because as I was looking just kind of, for this particular region, what the basic just kind of, like a mantra or expression is listen to this: unconditional joy is my birthright.
Amen.
Right?
Yes.
I make space in my life for play. So this is a center to also become like child, because, when you are like child, when it's raining, you are dancing in the puddle, right? It's just like, oh, raining, fun, right? So this is so it's playfulness, right? Realizing that unconditional joy is our birthright. It is right for me to choose joy, fun, and play in my daily life. I find new ways to express my creativity. So it's, it's really, I love that. And I, for some reason, I always, Fari, love orange color. If I would go, like, we went to play a mini golf a couple of weeks ago in Ocean City, and I always pick the orange one, or it's just my thing. I don't know why. I just love orange color. But it's just like, in that color, I just feel so much of just kind of, like juiciness, and really it just
feminine, sexy. That's
yeah.
what you feel. And that's my whole point. Like, what's wrong that the whole world, and I've had few religious people, I'm not going to say what religion, but religious people, that when I talked about yoga and I said, I practice yoga, I teach yoga, I make it part of my coaching, that it's yoga, it was like, oh no, yoga is a cult. And the other one said, yoga is a religion. I said, where do you come up with these ideas from? Who talks about the religion? I'm talking about going to the depth, to the core and depth of your being, and put the fire in every part of your spine and bring the fire out into the light and blossom and go there and shine. And that's what the sacral chakra is all about that fire within each and every one of us. It's that sexuality, sensuality about each and every one of us that allows us to become that playful person. What we do in here, even though we're going live and we're talking, but we're being playful. We're loving it. What's wrong to make the job, no matter what your job is, instead of making it a very strict, boring job, become playful with your job. Where does it go? It goes to the second chakra.
Right.
In your belly. It's that playfulness that makes life so much more pleasant. And that's why you were saying it's my joy and it's my birthright to be playful. So I love that.
And just also think about it. I think prior to the call, we were talking about just kind of, how emotions, when they are stored, how just kind of it is difficult for people to move. It's very hard to be creative if you are angry, or if you have so much of guilt in you, or resentment, or if you are furious, and we were talking, how the physical movement, it's really just kind of, essential. You were mentioning that you went through the training with Byron Katie, right? And just kind of, I was asking, just kind of like, what did you guys do besides just kind of doing the work, right? And she just says, well, that was a post. Well, I'll give it to you. What you guys did to really just kind of, get the body, how she's also focused on moving the body, moving through the body.
100%.
Yeah.
Yes, it was like 400. I'm still working with Byron Katie, by the way. It's not over. I thought it was over, but my goodness, she's dragging it 3 months later. And I am so honored to say I have the pleasure of learning from her and being her student, and it's magnificent. And yes, Byron Katie, oh, it was 400 of us there every couple of hours, 2.5 hours. And I let, okay, put the music on, the loudest, craziest, wildest music, go on. And then I said, this 80-year-old angel gets up, sometimes goes with her arms like that. And I think, really, lady? And then stretches her legs and just did. And I thought, oh my God. And then she said, movement brings life. And her son came in and he really, really keeps her healthy by keeping her active and movement and all of that. And I thought, and every music when we go in and they play, it's all these kind of like a Sanskrit music with English words in it. And it's heavenly and it's magnificent. And without doing yoga with Byron Katie, but my teaching of yoga became more sacred. Just learning everything that I learned from Byron Katie, bringing it into the world of yoga, because she is so real with every movement you do. Why do you do that movement? Why do you say this and that? And it feels like I got certified 2008, but it made me feel, I'm talking about yoga, but it made me like my certification was just renewed by learning so much more from this amazing woman, that she says, keep on moving, but don't move for the heck of moving. Move from the core of your being, which is always, if you think of our body, the core of our being is our spine. Think about it. If we don't have a spine, we don't exist. If we don't have a spine, we won't be straight. If we don't have a spine, there are no nerves going through it. Where are the nerves going to be? They're there. That's the support for them. And it's so much learning that we can do. And saying that, I wanted to ask you, Olga, why don't you, since you can do it and you have the mat, show a couple of nice, easy movements that it absolutely rejuvenates our sacral chakra, the second chakra. And you can see how simple it is. And then if I see when she's doing it, there's something that you might not be able to do because of your injuries, I'll bring it in, because I've always had to deal with lots of not only my own injuries, my clients' injuries too. So there's always a way of doing it. What do you say about that, my darling?
Yes, I would love to, really show a couple of poses that are, I think, accessible for everyone, and they can be done on different levels. And one of them is a goddess pose, because it just kind of really brings the attention to the hips, to the pelvic region, to the sacrum. And the other one is wide legs, just kind of, forward bend, which is called Prasarita Padottanasana. Those are two poses that are really, really wonderful to really balance that just kind of, area of, our body. So what I would like to do is, we can stand up if we can. I hope that everybody, and I will probably have to just raise my camera just a little bit. Okay,
I'm going to stand up too.
So what we'll do is, we'll, stand out, and your feet are about 2 feet apart, so not too wide. You turn the toes out, okay? And first, just place your hands on just top of your thighs. Take a nice deep inhale, and on the exhale, just tiny 1 inch or so down, and then slowly coming up. Okay, so we'll do about 3-4 of these, just to notice what your knees are saying. And if this is not doable, you can actually sit on a chair just like this for us. Okay, so you don't have to do the dips. Okay, wonderful, just like that. So you can do this on the sitting there. Okay, and then this time, as you are here, just kind of stay here. And then open up just kind of, nicely your arms, and bend the elbows in a nice football paw. You can stay here, or you can also bring the palms of your hands together, okay? Whatever is more comfortable. And then you can stay right here, or you can dip the hips a little bit lower down, or a little bit more down, so you can see that you have different levels there. Beautiful, just a nice deep inhale and exhale, breathe in and out, very good. 3 and 2 and 1, and then come all the way nicely up, reach through your arms. And then on the exhale, relax, release, turn the toes pointing forward, and then bring the legs nicely together. So you can see how beautifully it opens up the inner hips, inner thighs, and just kind of the area of the lower back, okay? The second pose is that you spread the legs a little bit wider than you had for the previous pose, for the goddess pose. You turn the toes slightly in, hands are on the hips, and again, if just kind of, that if you go forward and you need a chair to have your hands on, you can have a chair on, okay? Or you can have a yoga blocks, down, if you have some. So that would be the other just kind of, version, right? So I will do it this way. Or some people can go all the way down, okay? So choose what works for you, okay? Have the feet nicely wide apart. If you need a chair, have the chair in front of you. Everyone on the exhale, hinge from your hips. Place your hands on the chair or on the blocks or on.
I'm going all the way down.
Available. And then if you want to, you can go slightly a little forward down. Place your hands on the floor. Walk your hands towards just kind of the level of your feet. And you gently just kind of, nicely relax, release the head down. Elbows in, take another nice deep inhale and exhale. Very nice. And then micro bend the knees, slowly come halfway up, walk the feet slightly, just kind of nicely in, release your upper torso, and then gently come up. It is the last part of your body that comes up, okay? So these two are really, really just kind of nice and very dynamic. The other just kind of, thing is, just one more pose, that it's even easier than these two is warrior 2. So, one more pose, when you open up the legs, you can see that all of these are hip openers, that we turn the right foot out, bend the right knee, ground just kind of through the back leg, open up just kind of, nicely your arms, very nice. And look over your right shoulder. And again, you stay for, 8 to 12 inhales and exhales. But we will just kind of go further. We will take the left hand on the left thigh, turn the palm of your right hand up, and gently extend the right arm toward your right ear. Beautiful, just like that. And then come back to the center. Let's do it on the other side to wrap up our, yoga here. So you bend the left knee, ground just kind of through the back heel, bend the left knee over the ankle bone. And again, you just nicely open up, just kind of, through those arms. Look over your left shoulder. And then slowly release your right hand on the right thigh. Inhale, reach and extend nicely through that left arm. And then come all the way nicely out of the pose, okay? And then bring your legs together. Wonderful. So what you can notice is all of these poses that we have done, they really open up through the entire just kind of, pelvic ball, your hips, your sacrum, and just kind of, even the lower back and the legs. And that's just kind of, what is the region, of this energy, okay? I think that one thing that just kind of, we can expand the last few minutes that we have, if you would think that it would be cool, is I want to read one little quote from just kind of this book that it's phenomenal.
Wonderful.
It's Anno Dea Judith, and it's Eastern Body, Western Mind. If you are really interested to know a little bit more and deeper about chakras, about these topics that we have, you will love this book. This is the
I love that book.
most comprehensive book that it's there on
100%.
chakras. Now,
I re-listen to that book when I'm always working out. It's magnificent.
so on page 114, okay, it says, because this is, like the whole chakra, if you just kind of, would go, how it's defined, it says that the identity of this energy, it's emotions. Okay, so it's all about what's really, is happening in our body. And this really just kind of, there is a beautiful couple of things that I just, wanted to share with you, and we can kind of a little bit expand on it. On page 113, it says, I believe, that talks the author, that ultimately emotions have a spiritual function as the language of the soul. I mean, that's deep. I believe that ultimately emotions have a spiritual function as the language of the soul. So just realize it, your soul, right? Just, if our souls can speak, our soul is longing for love, to express the love, to create through the love, to walk as a love. Okay, that's the true identity of our soul. And just think about it, if love is not there and there is a hate or anger or other emotions, the soul cannot really just kind of, live and just, expand as it is just meant to for every single just kind of person on this earth. This is our birthright. Remember what we said, the unconditional love and joy is our birthright, okay? So that's why this, I think chakra is just so important, or the energy center is so important, to realize how we need to learn how to process the emotions, how to understand our emotions, how realizing that it is our thoughts that create our emotions, right? A lot of times it's just kind of, or it is just kind of the things that we gathered from our childhood. And one more last paragraph that it says is, and that's why Fari, you were saying how you love yoga and how you see just kind of, such a great treasure and benefit there, because it says here on page 114, just as releasing emotions frees the body, the converse is also true. We can free emotions by consciously moving the body. And yoga is the way, right? When we encourage the movement just in our body that is frozen with emotions, that's what helps just kind of then actually release them. And that's why I think also, Fari, there are so many people who are interested in the breath form, in just kind of, yoga, because yoga has such a incredible way to move body to shift, you know, the energies, the nervous system and the emotions. Because if there is a great yoga teacher, after each class, when people finish, people kind of, I'm a new person. Like I just got a text this morning. I had a session with a client and she was traveling like hundreds of miles. And she says, send me this after the session that we had. She told me, hey, I need to be focused on my hips, on my lower back. And she just says, thank you for today's session. I feel like a new person. I mean, that's yoga. That's not me. Okay. That's yoga.
Right. But it's good that people want to get to that space. Just like how you had that, my client she's a psychologist and she's been my client since 2007. And her husband is dealing with dementia and they're very relatively young. They're in their early 70s. And as I was just doing the breathing with her, she was driving to the hospital to the husband. And I was doing the breathing with her. And then I said, okay, now get out of the car, put the camera on, and I just want to do some cat and cow poses. Do the down dog off the back of the car. And I want you to stay with your breath. And that will be your foundation of walking to the room, because her husband has lost it and is really abusive and really like says not pleasant thing to her. And I just said, you walk in like that. And she comes out and she goes, if I hadn't done that and I wouldn't memorize those things that you said to me, I don't know, I probably would have thrown my phone into the glasses, into the window. And I said, but it's not what I said. And I said, don't thank me, thank yourself, because you were willing to do the work that I asked you to do. And the work takes place. It's like when you mix the onion and garlic, when you cook, it has a different flavor. If you don't do it, it's not going to do it. It's the same thing as your cooking that you do when you mix and match things. And that's the same thing that comes up, is the same as when you imply yoga into your being, into your livelihood, into your life. No matter what you do, you write, you work out, you're a driver, you are whatever, you are a strategist. And when you do the yoga, your life becomes different. You start blossoming in many different ways. And really sacral yoga, sacral chakra, the second chakra, is one of those that it helps you to become even more creative. Is all a matter of being creative, being happy, being playful, and giving yourself the permission to want to be playful and happy in all aspects of your life. It's your birthright. Remember that. It's your birthright to be that happy, jolly person. You get to choose. And I always say, as a last thing to say, life is all about the choice. We, Olga and I, chose to come here to create this for you, because we've seen the effect of it. And I did on my life, and I'm sure Olga did on her life. And not only that, and the spiritual aspect of it, and without getting religious, because I have nothing to do with religion and I have everything to do with spirituality. I found God through yoga. I found my centeredness through yoga. Even though I'm a black belt in Taekwondo, even though I'm a swimmer, even though I'm a weightlifter, and I've done all of that continuously, nothing like yoga has gotten me to become serene within me, so that I can pass what is in me to my clients and say, look, I got this. It's like I'm eating a big sandwich and you're hungry next to me, and I say, hey, have a bite and see how tasty it is. And then you run and buy your own, and that's what it is. It's just say, look, this is what I've got. You want to do it, try to do what I'm asking you, and then you find your own way in your life. And that's it's all about.
That's beautiful. You are brilliant, Bari.
So are you. Thank you, darling.
Yeah, so I am complete. I think that there is a lot just kind of, good resources that we have shared. I just would like to kind of, spark the interest for the next one that we will do, that it's going to be the solar plexus, chakra. That's going to be is a chakra of identity. It's chakra of power and will. It's a really important, just kind of, because if the solar plexus is not just kind of, open and balanced, a lot of people just kind of, having issues, just kind of, being people pleasers and just not really living in their true power. So that's something to, look for. We'll just kind of dig deep into it.
Yes, not only that, we are planning, Olga and I are planning for, I'm going to mention that every time we meet until it gets closer to time, we are planning on having a wonderful retreat that it would be yoga, coaching, breath work, all of these together. And it'll be just Olga and I. We don't have any other ones. It's just between us that we want to have the retreat in 24 somewhere here in California. And it'll be probably in the desert, roundabout Palm Desert, which is very spiritual. And I'm thinking maybe in Joshua Tree until we find out. But this is what we're planning on to do. So we can invite you all to come and join us and have a blast of a true self-recognition, self-forgiveness, self-love, and a true self-compassion through those few days that we're offering it. So I'm putting it out into the universe for the best of it to come up, and then we come in. And then that would be the best. And we have in about how long? 2-3 weeks, babe, Olga? Our next session for the third chakra.
Yes. Yes, I think that, if we look at our calendars, it will be exactly in another 3 weeks. So that would be around August.
I am looking at the date.
August, I think it's August 14, I would believe.
August 14 on a Monday. Oh, yeah,
Yes.
perfect.
Okay. So
yes.
Yeah.
And we're doing it the same timing.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Perfect. Perfect. That's brilliant. So I am putting it down just now. Add done. Perfect. So we will be back here August 14th, the same timing, 3 p.m. PST, Pacific time, and 6 p.m. Eastern time. And please, if you have any question, any comment, join us, let us know, let us hear you. And if you get a chance to join us live and you have any question, then that would be wonderful as well. And until then, we are honored to be here, to be at your service, and to be a love and support for you. And nothing better in this world as we receive together, then we give it out there for you all. And I hope you have a beautiful rest of July going into the August. Stay cool wherever you guys are, and blessings to you. Thank you, Olga, my love. We should thank our fabulous assistant, Latara, behind the scene that makes this happen. And I love you, Latara. I'm nothing without you. She's my fabulous assistant, and I cannot do this without her. So have a blast, and we'll see you soon.